Introduction. Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is more than just a self-help book. It's a framework for personal and professional transformation. Since its publication in 1989, the book has sold millions of copies worldwide and continues to influence individuals and organizations across various sectors. Covey's approach is rooted in timeless principles, offering a clear roadmap for anyone looking to improve their effectiveness and achieve lasting success. The 7 habits outlined by Covey are not quick fixes, but are based on principles of fairness, integrity, and human dignity, which transcend time, culture, and profession. The power of character ethics. Covey argues that the true foundation of success lies in what he calls character ethics, values like integrity, courage, fairness, and humility. In contrast, the personality ethic, which focuses on superficial traits like appearance or skills, often leads to short-term gains, but lacks the depth required for lasting success. The habits described in this book are based on character ethics and are meant to build a foundation of trust, respect, and growth. The book's structure is designed to take readers on a journey, starting with self-mastery, the first 3 habits, moving to interdependence and collaboration, habits 4 through 6, and finally addressing continuous personal growth and renewal, habit 7. Each habit builds on the previous one, forming a coherent and comprehensive approach to life. Covey's work emphasizes the importance of balanced success is not only about professional achievements, but also about maintaining relationships, personal well-being, and aligning with one's values. Why the habits matter today. In today's fast-paced, digitally connected world, the relevance of the 7 habits of highly effective people has only grown stronger. Whether it's managing overwhelming workloads, building meaningful relationships, or staying true to one's purpose, Covey's habits offer a blueprint for navigating complexity and maintaining balance. Organizations, too, have adopted Covey's principles to foster teamwork, leadership, and long-term success. The habits encourage individuals to cultivate inner strength and proactive attitudes, which are essential in a constantly changing environment. An overview of the 7 habits. The 7 habits are divided into 2 main categories: private victory and public victory. The first 3 habits focus on mastering yourself, leading to independence, while the next 3 emphasize working effectively with others, leading to interdependence. The final habit, habit 7, ties everything together by emphasizing the importance of continuous improvement. Be proactive, take responsibility for your life. Don't be a victim of circumstances. Instead, choose your responses based on values and goals. Begin with the end in mind. Have a clear vision of your ultimate goals and objectives. Plan your life around achieving those outcomes. Put first things first. Prioritize tasks that align with your goals and values, focusing on what's important rather than merely urgent. Think win-win. Approach relationships and situations with an abundance mindset, seeking mutual benefit in all interactions. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Listen deeply to others before offering your perspective, ensuring empathy and connection. Synergize, value differences, and work collaboratively to create solutions greater than what any individual could achieve alone. Sharpen the saw, continuously renew and improve yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. 1. Habit 1. Be proactive, taking responsibility for your life. The first habit, be proactive, serves as the foundation for all other habits. Proactivity means more than just taking initiative. It means that you are responsible for your own life. Covey emphasizes that proactive people recognize that they have control over their actions, thoughts, and responses, even in challenging situations. Instead of blaming external circumstances or other people, they focus on what they can influence and take charge of their own outcomes. Covey introduces the concept of the circle of concern and the circle of influence to help explain the difference between reactive and proactive behavior. The circle of concern includes things we care about but have no control over, such as the weather, other people's behavior, or global events. The circle of influence, on the other hand, includes things we can directly control, such as our attitudes, decisions, and actions. Proactive people focus on their circle of influence, working on the things they can change, rather than wasting energy on concerns outside their control. Reactive versus proactive people. Reactive people. These individuals often let their environment and circumstances dictate their behavior. If things go wrong, they blame external factors such as their boss, family, or the economy. They allow feelings and emotions to control them, and their happiness or satisfaction is tied to external events. For example, if the weather is bad, they might say it ruined their day, as if they had no choice but to feel negative about the situation. Proactive people, in contrast, proactive individuals make decisions based on their values, not their circumstances. They understand that, while they cannot always control what happens to them, they can control how they react. A proactive person, when faced with a bad situation, will focus on what they can do to improve it. For instance, if they lose their job, instead of sinking into despair, they may use the opportunity to pursue a new career path or acquire new skills. The power of choice. Covey emphasizes that being proactive is fundamentally about the power of choice. Even in the most challenging circumstances, we have the freedom to choose our response. Covey illustrates this point by referring to Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, who maintained his inner freedom and sense of purpose even in the most horrific conditions. Frankl realized that although his captors controlled his external circumstances, they could not control his response to those conditions. This idea forms the core of proactivity. Between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space lies our power to choose. Examples of proactivity. In the workplace, a proactive employee doesn't wait for instructions to solve problems. If a project is behind schedule, they don't just inform the team leader, they propose solutions or take steps to fix the delay themselves. They focus on the actions they can take to ensure a positive outcome rather than simply reacting to the situation. In personal life, a proactive individual facing personal conflict doesn't allow emotions to control their behavior. Instead of lashing out or withdrawing, they pause, reflect, and choose a response that aligns with their values and goals. They might seek to resolve the conflict calmly, or they may decide to distance themselves from toxic relationships. The impact of proactivity. Increase control. By focusing on the circle of influence, proactive people feel more in control of their lives. They understand that while they can't change everything, they can always change something: their mindset, their actions, or their response. Resilience. Proactive individuals are more resilient in the face of setbacks because they don't see themselves as victims. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, they take action to improve their situation. This creates a cycle of empowerment and continuous growth. Leadership and influence. Proactive people often emerge as leaders, even informally. By taking responsibility and action, they inspire others to do the same. Their attitude becomes contagious, and they expand their circle of influence over time by creating positive change in their environment. Applications of proactivity. Self-mastery. Proactivity is the first step towards self-mastery, as it shifts your focus from external forces to internal control. This habit encourages you to be self-aware and conscious of your choices. Conflict resolution. Proactivity is crucial in resolving conflicts. By focusing on your response rather than blaming others, you can diffuse tense situations and find constructive solutions. Personal growth. Proactive individuals tend to seek out opportunities for learning and self-improvement. Rather than waiting for opportunities to come their way, they actively pursue personal and professional development. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Definition. Clarifying your vision and goals. The second habit, begin with the end in mind, emphasizes the importance of having a clear vision of what you want to achieve before you start taking action. It encourages you to set both short-term and long-term goals, creating a blueprint for your life. Covey explains that successful people shape their actions and decisions based on a clear understanding of their ultimate goals, instead of simply reacting to life as it happens. This habit is rooted in the principle of visualization. By visualizing your destination, you can make decisions that align with that vision. Covey compares this habit to the process of building a house. Before construction begins, the architect creates a detailed plan. Without a clear blueprint, the house would likely end up being disorganized or incomplete. The same applies to life. Without a clear vision, you risk spending time and energy on activities that don't lead to meaningful success. Deep dive, personal leadership and mission statements. Covey distinguishes between management and leadership in this habit. Management is about efficiently executing tasks, while leadership is about setting the right course. Habit 2 is fundamentally about personal leadership, defining where you want to go and who you want to become. Once you've clarified this, you can manage your actions to align with that vision. One of the key tools Covey introduces for practicing this habit is the personal mission statement. A mission statement is a formalized declaration of your goals, values, and vision for your life. It serves as a constant reminder of your core purpose and helps you make decisions that align with your ultimate objectives. Covey suggests that mission statements should be based on principles, not circumstances, which ensures they remain a reliable guide, even in difficult or uncertain situations. Crafting a personal mission statement. Creating a personal mission statement requires deep reflection. Covey advises thinking about the most important roles you play in life, such as parent, partner, leader, friend, and how you want to be remembered in each role. A mission statement can be a simple paragraph or a more detailed outline, but it should encompass your core values, the principles that guide your decisions and actions, your long-term vision, what you want to achieve in various aspects of life, career, family, personal growth, your purpose, the why behind your goals, what drives you to pursue them. Once crafted, a mission statement serves as a compass, helping you steer your life in the right direction regardless of the obstacles you encounter. The two creations, mental and physical. Covey introduces the concept of two creations. Everything is created twice, first in the mind, then in reality. This is true whether you're building a house, starting a business, or planning your life. Habit 2 emphasizes the mental creation, planning and envisioning, before the physical creation, acting and building. By starting with a clear vision, you can make intentional decisions that lead to meaningful outcomes, rather than haphazardly reacting to daily challenges. Covey warns against the dangers of living by default, where people drift through life without a clear sense of purpose or direction. When this happens, external forces, society, family expectations, or immediate circumstances end up shaping one's life. In contrast, when you begin with the end in mind, you are the architect of your life, making conscious choices that reflect your values and long-term goals. Examples of beginning with the end in mind. In personal life, imagine someone who dreams of becoming a successful entrepreneur. Instead of waiting for the right opportunity, they start by visualizing their ideal business and the lifestyle they want to lead. With this vision in mind, they begin to develop skills, build networks, and seek opportunities that align with their goal. Every action they take, whether it's education, networking, or investing, moves them closer to that end goal. In professional settings, a project manager overseeing a large initiative or work will first define what a successful outcome looks like. They'll set clear goals for their team, create a timeline, and establish key performance indicators to measure progress. This clarity helps the team focus on the big picture, avoid distractions, and ensure that their day-to-day tasks contribute directly to the project's ultimate success. Applications of beginning with the end in mind. Personal life planning. Habit can be applied to all areas of life. Whether you're planning your career, relationships, or health, it's essential to have a clear vision of what success looks like. For example, if your goal is to maintain a healthy work-life balance, envision what that balance looks like. Then make choices like setting boundaries or scheduling time for family that support that vision. Career and professional development. This habit is invaluable in career planning. Knowing where you want to be in 5 or 10 years allows you to take purposeful steps now. Whether it's acquiring new skills, seeking mentorship, or pursuing a specific role, each action should align with the ultimate career vision. Educational goals. Students can apply this habit by clarifying what they want to achieve through their education. Instead of drifting through courses or changing majors without thought, students who begin with the end in mind focus on their long-term career or life goals and choose their academic path accordingly. Visualization techniques. Covey encourages the use of visualization techniques as a powerful tool for practicing this habit. Visualization involves mentally rehearsing the outcome you desire, which strengthens your ability to bring that vision to life. Athletes, for instance, often visualize themselves succeeding in their sport before stepping onto the field, building both confidence and focus. For individuals, visualizing success in their career, relationships, or personal growth can create a mental roadmap that guides decision-making. When faced with challenges or distractions, returning to this vision helps maintain clarity and motivation. Impact of beginning with the end in mind. Clarity and focus. By starting with a clear vision, you eliminate confusion and indecision. You know exactly what you're working toward, and this helps you prioritize tasks and make strategic decisions. Aligned decisions. Every decision you make, whether big or small, can be evaluated against your end goals. This ensures that your actions align with your values and vision, leading to greater satisfaction and success. Purpose-driven life. People who practice this habit lead more purposeful lives. They are not merely reacting to circumstances. They are shaping their lives in accordance with their deepest values and highest aspirations. For example, if someone wants to be remembered as a compassionate, understanding partner, they can visualize how they would act in challenging situations, perhaps by listening attentively during disagreements or offering support during tough times. This vision then serves as a guide for everyday interactions, helping them consistently act in line with their desired outcome. Habit 3. Put first things first. The importance of Quadrant 2. Quadrant 2 is the core of effective personal management. It represents tasks that are important for long-term success, but don't come with immediate deadlines or crises. Examples include exercising, planning, relationship building, and learning new skills. While these activities might not demand your attention immediately, neglecting them can lead to long-term failures or crises in Quadrant I. Covey stresses that the most successful people focus on Quadrant 2 activities, even though they don't seem urgent, because these actions prevent problems and lead to sustainable success. The problem with urgency. One of the biggest barriers to putting first things first is the tendency to focus on urgent tasks. These tasks often feel pressing and give a sense of accomplishment when completed. However, Covey warns that many of these urgent tasks, especially those in Quadrant 3, are actually important. These could include responding to trivial emails, attending unnecessary meetings, or being distracted by social media. While they may seem productive, these tasks don't contribute to your long-term goals and values. People often get trapped in a cycle of urgency, constantly putting out fires, but failing to make progress on the things that matter most. Covey calls this the urgency addiction, where individuals feel compelled to handle every urgent request, even at the cost of neglecting their long-term priorities. Breaking this cycle requires a conscious shift to focus on the important, non-urgent tasks of Quadrant 2, saying no to the unimportant, To succeed in putting first things first, Covey explains that individuals must learn to say no to quadrant 3 and 4 activities. This can be challenging, especially in professional settings where there are constant demands for your time. However, by identifying your true priorities as defined by habit 2 and aligning your actions accordingly, it becomes easier to recognize which tasks are distractions and which are essential. Covey advises that every yes to an unimportant task is a no to something more important. For example, saying yes to attending a non-essential meeting may mean saying no to spending time with family or working on a personal development project. To put first things first, it's critical to be selective about where you invest your time and energy. The power of planning and scheduling. A key component of habit 3 is effective planning and scheduling. Covey suggests using a weekly planning system rather than daily planning to ensure that you're focusing on quadrant 2 activities. A week is long enough to account for unexpected events, but short enough to maintain focus and momentum. When planning your week, Covey encourages people to identify roles. First, identify the different roles you play in life, for example, employee, parent, partner, friend, community member. Set goals. Next, set goals for each role based on what's important in quadrant 2. For example, you might set a goal to spend quality time with family, complete a work project, or start a new exercise routine. Schedule time. Finally, schedule time for these quadrant 2 activities. By putting them on your calendar, you ensure that they won't be overshadowed by urgent, less important tasks. This approach ensures that you're balancing your time across the various areas of life and giving attention to the things that truly matter. Delegation and empowerment. An important aspect of putting first things first, particularly in professional settings, is learning to delegate. Covey explains that effective delegation is not just about assigning tasks, but about empowering others to take ownership of results. This requires clear communication and trust, but it can free up time for leaders to focus on higher-level priorities, such as strategy and relationship building. Covey introduces two types of delegation. Go for delegation. This is when you delegate tasks by giving detailed instructions on how to complete them. The downside is that the person completing the task relies heavily on you for guidance, limiting their initiative and growth. Stewardship delegation. In contrast, stewardship delegation focuses on outcomes rather than methods. You provide a clear vision of the desired result, along with resources, guidelines, and accountability, but you give the person the freedom to decide how to achieve it. This approach fosters independence and responsibility, allowing you to focus on your highest priorities. Examples of putting first things first. In personal life, imagine someone who values health and wellness, but struggles to find time to exercise. They decide to apply habit 3 by scheduling regular workout sessions into their week, treating them as non-negotiable appointments. By doing this, they ensure that their long-term health goals take priority over less important, urgent tasks like responding to non-essential emails or social media notifications. In professional settings, a manager overwhelmed by constant emails and meetings realizes that they've been neglecting long-term strategic planning. To rectify this, they block off a few hours each week to focus exclusively on planning and innovation. They also delegate some routine tasks to team members, giving themselves the space to work on more impactful initiatives that align with the organization's long-term goals. The impact of putting first things first. Increased productivity. By focusing on important tasks rather than urgent distractions, individuals become more productive. They make meaningful progress toward their long-term goals and avoid wasting time on trivial matters. Reduce stress. prioritizing quadrant 2 activities can reduce the stress and burnout associated with constantly reacting to urgent tasks. When you have a clear plan and stick to it, you feel more in control of your time and energy. Improved relationships. By scheduling time for the important people in your life, you ensure that relationships don't fall by the wayside. This leads to stronger, more meaningful connections, both personally and professionally. Balanced life. Putting first things first helps create a balanced life where your actions reflect your values and priorities. You avoid the trap of being busy but not productive, and you create harmony between your personal and professional commitments. Applications of Habit 3. Time management. The principles of Habit 3 and foundational for effective time management. Covey's approach emphasizes managing your life, not just your time, by focusing on what truly matters. Leadership and decision-making. Leaders who put first things first set an example for their teams by focusing on high-impact activities rather than getting bogged down by minutiae. This habit also helps leaders make decisions based on long-term goals rather than immediate pressures. Personal growth and self-discipline. Habit 3 requires a high degree of self-discipline. It's easy to get caught up in urgent tasks, but consistently focusing on important, non-urgent activities builds self-mastery and leads to personal growth. Building the habit. Covey emphasizes that building Habit 3 takes time and practice. It requires consistent reflection and planning to ensure that your daily and weekly actions align with your long-term vision. Habit 2. Developing this habit also involves cultivating self-discipline to resist distractions and prioritize what's truly important. One practical strategy is to periodically review your time management matrix and evaluate how much time you're spending in each quadrant. If you find that you're spending too much time in quadrants I or 3, you can adjust your schedule to focus more on quadrant 2 activities. Over time, this practice will lead to greater effectiveness and satisfaction. Habit 4. Think win-win. Definition. Seeking mutual benefit in interactions. Habit 4. Think win-win focuses on cultivating a mindset of mutual benefit in relationships and interactions. Covey explains that effective individuals and leaders operate from an abundance mindset, where they believe that there's enough success and happiness for everyone. In contrast, a scarcity mindset believing that one person's gain must come at another's loss leads to competition, distrust, and unhealthy relationships. Thinking win-win is not about being nice or avoiding conflict. Rather, it's about finding solutions that satisfy all parties involved. Covey emphasizes that true win-win solutions are based on fairness, integrity, and respect for others. This habit applies to both personal and professional relationships, encouraging cooperation and collaboration over competition and conflict. The win-win paradigm. Covey outlines several paradigms that people often use in interactions. Win-win. Both parties seek mutual benefit, striving for agreements and solutions that satisfy everyone's needs. Win-lose. One party seeks to win at the expense of the other. This is common in competitive environments, where one person's success means another's failure. Lose-win. One party sacrifices their own needs to please or accommodate the other. While this may seem selfless, it often leads to resentment and frustration over time. Lose-lose. In situations of mutual destruction, both parties end up losing. This can happen when people become so focused on winning that they refuse to compromise, leading to a breakdown in the relationship or deal. Win. One party is focused only on their own gain, without regard for the other party. This self-centered approach can damage relationships and trust in the long run. Win-win or no deal. In this paradigm, if both parties can't reach a win-win solution, they agree to part ways amicably. This is a healthy approach because it values the relationship over the outcome. Covey emphasizes that win-win or no deal is often the best approach when compromise is not possible. It prevents individuals from feeling forced into an agreement that doesn't align with their values or interests. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Definition. The importance of empathetic listening. Habit 5 emphasizes that effective communication starts with understanding others before trying to make yourself understood. Stephen Covey asserts that most people listen with the intent to reply, not to understand. They focus on crafting their response while the other person is still speaking, leading to shallow communication. Empathetic listening, however, means listening with the intent to truly understand the other person's feelings, perspective, and concerns. Deep dive. Empathy versus sympathy. Covey distinguishes between empathy and sympathy. Sympathy involves feeling pity or sorrow for someone's misfortune, often without a deep connection to their experience. Empathy, on the other hand, involves putting yourself in another person's shoes and seeing the world through their eyes. It requires emotional intelligence and a genuine desire to understand another person's emotions and viewpoints. In many cases, when people feel understood, they are more open to hearing others' perspectives. This is especially critical in conflict resolution, negotiations, and leadership, where mutual understanding can pave the way for a collaboration and compromise. For instance, in a business negotiation, if one party feels that their concerns are being fully understood, they are more likely to be open to finding a mutually beneficial solution. Listening techniques. Covey offers practical listening techniques to help individuals become more empathetic listeners. Active listening. This involves fully concentrating on what is being said rather than passively hearing the message. Active listening requires focus, body language like nodding, and verbal affirmations like saying "I understand." Mirroring. Mirroring involves repeating back what the other person has said in your own words. This not only shows that you're paying attention, but also helps clarify and reinforce understanding. Paraphrasing. Paraphrasing goes beyond mirroring by summarizing the speaker's message and emotions. It helps ensure that you've accurately grasped the core of their message and also reassures the speaker that their feelings are validated. Avoiding judgment. Effective empathetic listening means withholding judgment and not interrupting the speaker to inject your own thoughts or opinions prematurely. Letting the speaker fully express themselves is key to understanding. Examples. Politics. A political leader may resolve a heated debate by actively listening to the opposing party's concerns and viewpoints. By paraphrasing the concerns and acknowledging the other side's perspective, the leader opens up the possibility of finding common ground. Business. In a company setting, a manager who takes the time to truly understand the challenges their team members face can better address the root causes of low productivity or conflict. This approach builds trust and allows for more effective solutions. Personal relationships. In personal relationships, partners who practice empathetic listening can resolve conflicts more harmoniously. For instance, if one partner expresses frustration about household responsibilities, an empathetic response might involve listening carefully, paraphrasing their concerns, and then working together on a solution. Applications. Professional settings. In leadership, empathetic listening improves teamwork and enhances decision-making. Leaders who understand their team members' motivations, concerns, and aspirations are better equipped to guide them toward shared goals. Additionally, in customer service roles, listening to clients' needs and concerns can lead to better service and customer satisfaction. Personal relationships. In families or friendships, understanding one another deeply creates stronger bonds. Empathetic listening prevents miscommunication and helps resolve conflicts before they escalate. Impact. The positive effects of empathetic listening are profound. Building trust. When people feel genuinely heard, trust is built. They are more likely to open up and share their true thoughts, which strengthens relationships. Improved collaboration. In professional settings, empathetic listening leads to smoother collaboration because team members feel understood and valued. This creates a more inclusive and productive environment, stronger bonds. In personal relationships, empathy fosters emotional intimacy and connection, reducing misunderstandings and creating a deeper sense of mutual respect. Habit 6. Synergize. Definition: combining strengths for greater results. Synergy. The essence of Habit 6 is the idea that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. In other words, working together creatively and collaboratively can produce results far beyond what individuals could achieve alone. Covey describes synergy as the ultimate manifestation of all the previous habits, where cooperation and open-mindedness lead to innovative solutions and shared success. Deep dive: diversity and teamwork. Synergy thrives on diversity not just in terms of culture or background, but also in the variety of ideas, perspectives, and strengths that individuals bring to the table. When differences are valued and embraced, teams can find creative solutions to complex problems that no one person could have developed alone. Covey argues that successful teamwork is built on trust. Habits 4 and 5, and the ability to work toward win-win solutions. Synergizing involves moving away from the mindset of compromise, where each party gives up something, and toward the idea of creating new, better solutions through collaboration. This often requires a high level of openness, respect, and patience, as it can take time to fully understand and appreciate differing viewpoints. Examples: corporate teams. In the business world, many companies achieve breakthrough innovations by bringing together diverse teams of people with different expertise. For example, Apple's success can be attributed to the synergy between designers, engineers, and marketers who work together to create products that are not only functional, but also aesthetically appealing. Partnerships. Many successful partnerships, such as the one between Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, have thrived because both individuals bring unique strengths to the relationship. By leveraging each other's insights and perspectives, they have been able to build a strong, lasting business empire. Applications. Organizational settings. Leaders can foster synergy by encouraging diverse teams to work together on important projects. This requires creating an environment of psychological safety, where people feel comfortable sharing their ideas without fear of judgment. Leadership. Leaders who value and encourage input from all team members can create a more dynamic and innovative workplace. Synergy allows teams to move beyond conventional solutions and explore new possibilities. Creative projects. Synergy is often the driving force behind artistic collaborations, where different creative minds come together to produce a work that is far greater than what any individual could achieve alone. Impact. Innovative solutions. By valuing diversity and collaboration, synergy leads to more creative and effective solutions. This makes it an invaluable asset in problem solving, whether in business, social settings, or personal life. Stronger teams. Teams that practice synergy are more cohesive and successful because they leverage the strengths of all members, creating a sense of unity and shared purpose. Greater impact. Synergistic efforts have a larger impact than individual actions because they draw on collective strengths, making collaborations far more powerful and effective. Habit 7. Sharpen the saw. Definition: continuous self-renewal in 4 key areas. Habit 7 is about maintaining and renewing your personal well-being in 4 dimensions: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Covey refers to this as sharpening the saw, drawing from the analogy that a woodcutter who stops to sharpen their saw will cut more efficiently than one who just keeps sawing without rest. Deep dive: the 4 dimensions. Physical. This dimension covers your physical health, including exercise, nutrition, and rest. Regular physical activity not only improves health, but also boosts energy and focus. It's about maintaining your body so you have the strength to accomplish your goals. Mental renewal involves continued learning and intellectual growth. This could include reading, learning new skills, engaging in creative problem solving, or even challenging yourself with new ideas and perspectives. Emotional renewal involves building strong, meaningful relationships with others. It includes empathy, self-awareness, and emotional intelligence. Engaging in fulfilling relationships helps replenish your emotional reserves and reduces stress. The spiritual dimension focuses on aligning with your values and purpose. It may involve meditation, prayer, reflection, or spending time in nature. Spiritual renewal helps individuals maintain a sense of peace, direction, and purpose. Examples: balancing growth with career success. Many successful professionals, such as CEOs and athletes, make a conscious effort to maintain their physical and mental well-being alongside their careers. For example, executives like Bill Gates incorporate regular reading and exercise into their routines, ensuring they remain sharp and healthy over the long term. Personal growth. People who prioritize self-care in all four dimensions, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, tend to be more balanced, productive, and fulfilled. For example, someone who consistently exercises, reads, meditates, and maintains healthy relationships is likely to experience more sustainable success than someone who neglects these areas. Applications. Daily routines. Individuals can sharpen the saw by integrating physical exercise, mental learning, emotional connection, and spiritual reflection into their daily lives. For instance, you might set aside time each day to exercise, read, spend time with loved ones, and meditate. Impact. Sustained productivity. By regularly reviewing yourself, you can avoid burnout and maintain high levels of productivity and creativity over the long term. Personal well-being. Continuous renewal in all four areas helps individuals achieve a balanced, fulfilling life where they are not sacrificing their health or happiness for success. Integrating the habits. How the habits interconnect. The 7 habits are not isolated. They build upon one another, creating a comprehensive framework for personal and professional growth. For instance, Habit 1: Be proactive lays the foundation for taking ownership of your life, which feeds into Habit 2: Begin with the end in mind, where you set a clear vision. By the time you reach Habit 7: Sharpen the saw, you are continuously improving yourself in all areas of life. Examples: personal growth stories. Many successful individuals who apply the 7 habits report transformative effects. For example, a business leader who practices these principles might see improvements in team performance, personal well-being, and overall success. Applications. To implement all 7 habits, readers can create structured plans that address each habit in turn. This might involve setting aside time each week to focus on different habits, or incorporating them into daily routines. Conclusion. Recap. The 7 habits provide a roadmap for achieving sustained personal and professional growth. From developing personal responsibility, Habit 1, to fostering strong relationships, Habits 4 and 5, and continuous self-renewal, Habit 7. These principles can transform how individuals approach their lives and work. Final thoughts. Applying these habits consistently over time leads to long-term success and fulfillment. Whether it's in your career, personal life, or relationships, the 7 habits serve as a guide for living a more effective, balanced, and meaningful life.